Hi, I just want to make this somewhat quick video about the environment and something that you may have heard about before, but you may not fully understand what it means. And so that's what I want to talk about is something called carbon neutrality. So, um, what is carbon neutrality? So, carbon neutrality means having a balance between emitting carbon and absorbing carbon from the atmosphere in carbon sinks. So, for example, what is a carbon sink? Uh, the world has natural carbon sinks like soil, forests, and oceans, which remove between 9.5 and 11 gigatons of CO2 per year. So I'll say those numbers again. So the world has natural carbon sinks like soil, forests, and oceans, which remove between 9.5 and 11 gigatons of CO2 per year. The annual global CO2 emissions in 2019 was 38.0 gigatons. So if you do the math, you look at what our natural carbon sinks hold, which is about 9.5, between 9.5 and 11 gigatons, and the annual global CO2 emissions is far above that at 38 in 2000 and 2019 was 38.0 gigatons. So as of to date, there are no artificial carbon sinks to remove carbon from the atmosphere on a scale to fight global warming. So um, uh, carbon offsetting, there's something else called carbon offsetting. What this does is it reduces emissions made in one sector of our environment by reducing them somewhere else. So this can be done through renewable energy, energy efficiency, or other clean, low carbon technologies. Um, so again, I'll just repeat what carbon neutrality is. It means having a balance between emitting carbon and absorbing carbon from the atmosphere in carbon sinks. Uh, the way that this is done is through something called um, is when carbon is sequestered. So when carbon is sequestered, right, by carbon sinks and other ways that we can reduce our carbon, so our emissions. And so when carbon is sequestered in this way, global CO2 emissions are lowered with the goal of net zero emissions. So finding ways, examples like renewable energy, energy efficiency, and other clean low carbon technologies will help to make up for the difference that our natural carbon sinks, um, are fighting to sequester the carbon. So that's a little bit about carbon neutrality. I hope it wasn't too complicated. Um, anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.